Hello, my name is Renata, and I am filming my journey, my 21-day journey or devotional. It's titled Heart Over Hustle, the Sovereign Rebirth. Today is December 10th, 2025, and that means that there are 21 days left in this year, and this year has been pretty insane. Yeah, there's been a lot of shedding, a lot of transformation, a lot of releasing what no longer serves me. Uh, this is happening individually as well as collectively. So we're just seeing like a lot of things break down again, internally, individually, and externally, collectively. And so there's just been a lot of raw moments, a lot of, shedding a layer and then being exposed, being raw, being vulnerable in that new skin, in that new identity, in that new way of being. And for me personally, that has just happened over and over and over and over again this year, like peeling back layers of an onion. So today, I'm not gonna lie, even right now in this moment, still, I'm a little bit salty or spicy. I can feel myself or my ego being in resistance to what's happening. And I'm just noticing that and finding it pretty interesting. And I'm also just experiencing it almost as like an internal battle. Like there's this part of me that feels like I'm this close to realizing a version of myself and a version of my life that I have effectively been calling in and wanting to create for really the past like 7 years. And and it feels like it's right here. Like I'm so close. And this beginning this journey right now, this 21-day journey, I channeled this. I've been working on putting this together since, yeah, maybe February of this year. Um, and so it's I I was gonna start it myself and run through it in November, and I just pushed it off and pushed it off, and I was like, well, I'll just start it on December 1st, and I pushed it off, and now it's December 10th, and I'm like, no, I really need to do it now. So here I am. I just want to be really authentic and honest about where I'm at and how I'm starting, and just calling out that, yeah, my ego is here and is kind of screaming because that is what happens when we are on the precipice of transformation and of change. We resist it because, for many reasons, from a spiritual perspective, because our ego likes to control things and likes to feel like it's needed. And when we undergo transformation and we step into greater truth, into our greater power, and we surrender to something that's greater than the ego, the divine, then the ego panics because it feels like, oh, I'm not going to be needed. I'm going to die. It literally has that kind of survival response effectively. Um, and so I'm definitely feeling that. There's also this component of, if we look at it from a neuroscience perspective or even like psychological perspective, the patterns in the brain, the identity patterns, the thought patterns, the habitual patterns that we have of who we have been being um, are also what is, how do I say it? Like they're what is there. They're what is the default in this moment. And so introducing something new again, it takes energy because it's not a patterned habit or way of being. So it takes a greater concerted energy. I don't know if I'm using that word properly, but a greater usage of energy to do something different, to think in a new way, to associate to something, to relate to something in a new way. It takes energy to do that. And again, from a survival perspective, the way that our brain works and our energy works is we conserve energy. Again, it's a survival mechanism. So there's just there's just multiple layers or different lenses that you could look at it through. That basically just anytime we go to affect change in our lives internally, or externally, there's usually some sort of resistance. And so I just want to name and call out that I for sure am experiencing that today. And for me, I have already pushed this off so much that I'm like, I really can't. Ow. Also, I'm in pain today for some reason. I'm not sure what that's about, but I'm sure actually it has something to do with this. So, as you are going through this journey yourself, I just want to acknowledge the full range of experiences that you might be having. And you might be feeling excitement on day one, or you might be feeling a little bit nervous or a little bit curious or really excited. Like whatever it is, excuse me, whatever it is that you're feeling is totally valid. And just notice it. We're not here to judge ourselves. We are not here to make ourselves wrong for what we're experiencing. We're here to learn about ourselves, to deepen into being able to care and nurture and love ourselves, to soften, to come into our heart center, come down from the brain and come and the ego and the mind and the overthinking and the projecting into the future and holding on to the past and really drop into the present moment, really drop into our heart center and be with what is and allow what is. And as we do that, it can shift and it can transmute. And so just naming that, I don't want to preach too much. I'm really just here to share um, what how I'm going through this myself. So I jotted down some of the questions and I just want to share them here. And maybe that will give you some examples, but not that you need them. I really want you to be tuning into this for yourself. Um, but again, I'm just sharing, and maybe as you're going through this, we can, in addition to being connected on the WhatsApp group, um, hopefully you can just feel like you're not going through this alone, and that I'm here and I'm going through this journey on my own too, even if we're doing it at different times. This way we can kind of do it together. So, one of the first prompts in day one, or the first prompts of day one, are what is your overall intention for this journey? And for me, I wrote to walk my talk, to fully surrender struggle and hardship, and finally trust, to soften in joy and play, and prove to myself that I am always guided, protected, and provided for by God's Spirit and Source. And then I also added for my business to fill up my one-on-one slots to sell my 8-week program called Spiritually Reborn, and to sell this program, this 21-day devotional. So that's also part of my journey is like really showing up in my business, and my business is really my mission work. And I've really, there's just been some aspects of me that have hidden or played small, um, and not really like stepped out into the world and showed up in a way that and expressed myself and shared myself in a way that lets people know who I am and the work that I do and how I can help them. And that's just really limited my capacity to live in my mission as much as I really want to be, because I love my mission and I love my work. And I've been given some really amazing gifts, and I want to share them. Like I've been given them to share them. So anyways, there you have it. So what 3 limiting qualities, beliefs, habits, or traits are you transmuting? And I put scarcity and lack as the first one. Um, that's something I think I've really struggled with probably my whole life. And again, part of that comes from not trusting source. So the second thing I put is not moving and strengthening my body. So I'm a, for anyone who's into human design or astrology, I am a mental projector and I'm a Pisces. So like I'm a dreamer. My head is in the clouds. I'm a projector, a mental projector. Like I just have ideas. I can be in my head all day long. I will pick up a book or like do a million other activities, write even work, whatever it is, before I will sit down and just be in my body. So that's not something that serves me. My body is really so intelligent. It contains its own intelligence, and it's such an integral part of health, not just physical health, but also mental health and spiritual health and all of it. And so I really, really, really want to kind of break this inconsistent yo-yo relationship I have to movement and strength training and mobility and all of that within my physical body practice. So I just really want to like strengthen and stretch and be in my body and also just like regulate my energy in my body too. And then the last one that I put is not believing in and trusting myself and God. So yeah, that's something in the past couple of weeks. The unicorn energy for me has come through very strong, very, very strong. And with unicorn magic and medicine is really showing me like you need to believe in yourself. And so that's really something that not believing in myself, doubting in my abilities, doubting in um my truth, my truth as a divine co-creator, my truth as a channel, as a priestess, as someone, as some soul who really truly like is an old ancient soul and has great gifts and medicine to offer, and just trusting that and knowing that. Um, yep. Okay, so moving on. What are you transmuting them into? So, transmuting scarcity and lack into appreciation and abundance. Abundance is everywhere, everywhere. There's so much everything everywhere. It's that it's not even that's not even subjective. There it's just truth. And so the more that I can look at recognizing that and appreciating that and embodying that and moving from that truth, I think that that will help shift that scarcity and lack programming or consciousness. Um, So I'm transmuting the not moving and strengthening my body just into dedication to my body. And again, I think appreciation has to do with this, appreciating that if I want to go out and experience the world, I have the ability to do that relatively pain-free right now. And that is something that is such a gift. And I don't, I want to be able to do that for as long as I possibly can, as comfortably as I possibly can, as pain-free as I possibly can. And so, um, yeah, I just want to really dedicate and like let that be the reason for strengthening my body and finding deeper mobility in my body and caring for my body so that um it can continue to care for me and all of the adventures that I want to have and all of the life, like the juice of life that I want to squeeze out of it. Um, And then not believing myself into having unflinching trust and faith in myself and in the universe, in my life, that I am provided for and guided and held and cared for and protected and safe. Yeah. And then the last thing that is on here for day one is writing a letter from your higher self to your present self. And so I'm just going to share that, um, share what I wrote. So this is from my higher self to my present self, or whatever you want to call it. I just kind of tuned in and was like what would my higher self say to me right now? Like what would this like the best version of myself say to me in the present moment self. And this is what I got. Dear sweet Renata, you've come so far, and my love, you didn't come this far only to come this far. You are so deserving and worthy of all your wildest dreams and more. Can you allow yourself to put down your burdens and guards and allow yourself the gift of being cared for? Will you open to the possibility that you really can have it all with soft, gentle ease? That this journey and mission need not be another lesson to learn or battle to fight, but rather a joyful delight, a wondrous surprise, the realization of what you've known to be true all along. Take my hand and don't let go. You've got front row tickets to the greatest show. I love you. Relax, rest, play, enjoy. All is well. All is being taken care of. Breathe easy and know it is done. And so it is. Doing this really felt like opening the portal, which is the title of day one. So I really hope that if you're watching this and sharing along this journey with me, that you feel that too. this gets to be easy. This doesn't have to be something that you're forcing yourself to do. This doesn't have to be a place where you hide any part of yourself. All of you is welcome here. The pain and the hurt and the joy and the appreciation and everything in between. So I really just invite you to open to possibility, open to miracles, open to transformation, open to life being entirely different than anything that you've ever known before. Your truth is in your heart. And this whole journey, we're going to keep anchoring into your heart and anchoring into your truth. And anything that I say or that I share is just me sharing my truth, but that doesn't mean that it has to be your truth. You are always the authority of yourself and of your life. Always listen to yourself first. Always trust yourself first. And always love yourself first. I love you. Thank you for being here on this journey with me. And I will see you tomorrow for day 2. Bye.